The PPG breakdown is here, and well, this is a lot of rogue. Don't be like one of the 36.5% of you that have not smashed love and crap out of that subscribe. At least the statistic is moving, and we're getting so close to 100K. So on your screen here is the breakdown for the PPG from this weekend. They had a case tournament for a multiple case tournament attends out of the Origin Game Fair this past weekend, and it's new format, baby. We get the chance to see how things are shaping up here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Tri Brigade. Yay! Still the best deck? Still the best deck? Anybody? Anybody surprised? Anybody surprised? Anybody? No? No, not surprised? Okay. Yeah, of course. 4 Altergeist in top 16. Okay. It's not bad. Tri Brigade ended up winning the event. We'll talk about that list here in a little bit. Now, let's see here. We had 2 Altergeist. Now, in the last few, what was it, European remote duel extravaganzas, we kind of did take a notice here of Altergeist, and we were like, oh, wow. Like, there's been a little bit of a sudden shift here with Geist players kind of showing up to counteract Tri Brigade. And that's actually been kind of nice to see that little shift in the meta here. So, yeah, where there's Tri Brigade players, it looks like you're going to continue to see Altergeist players here. Now, second represented deck in the room here for Top Cut was Drytron. Yeah, 1 Ava. Yeah, did it do anything? Honestly, I don't really think so. I can't say that I'm really surprised about the shift in the meta for this either. You know, everything else across the board did get that generic power down here, and while it unfortunately looks like it was about what we expected here. And we also had 2 Phantom Knights here. Now, this also kind of surprised me a little bit. I can't say that I'm really shocked about this, because I was talking about, was it last format? I was like, why is nobody really taking a look at Phantom Knights right now? Because inherently, the deck is just a bonkers choco nuts. All right, like, inherently, the things that Phantom Knights do should not surprise anybody. So, to finally seeing this deck kind of climbing up the ladder here, especially since the stuff is a little bit more affordable now with the Megatins, it means more people can explore the ideas of this. So, kind of interesting in that regard. I'll have to wait and see where developments come for that, but from where I'm sitting right now, that's kind of interesting. All right. So what? Tri Brigade, Altergeist, Drytron, Phantom Knights, most represented decks in the room. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, Rogue. Virtual World had 1 person place in top 16. Well, Robbie, you guys remember when I made that video talking about Virtual World being tier 0.5? It's one of the comments that I read in one of my videos. Italy did very little. It's 1 more consistency card that they can play with, but it's really not enough to gas this deck up and let it be a better contender, because you still can't do anything about inherent consistency issues. And then, of course, we had 1 Sky Striker, 1 Earth Box, 1 Eldritch, and 1 Invoke Dogmatica Shaddoll. Any of these really surprise you guys? I'll talk more about Rogue this afternoon at 11. You guys can kind of take a look at some of those more interesting decks now. But, well, later on in the day. But let's go take a look at what the top finishing decks were for this event. All right, the first list we actually have up here is James Frazier's first place list. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not really surprised to see the actual unchanged build of this functioning. Yeah, so you lost some of your better pieces like Zeus and whatnot, but this build's not even playing frickin' Crossout Designator, alright? Crossout was legal for this event. Didn't need it. Alright, James Frazier walked in and said, you know what? I'm going to play the old Rescue Cat build. Okay, so easy stuff there. We packed in some Solemn Strikes so we can counteract the metagame, and we were like, you know what? Since Revolt's such a good card, we're good to go. Tanky, what a hit, man. Like, what's it matter when you have triple Sharog to grind your opponent out? Like, looking at this extra deck, truly, nothing has really changed, unfortunately. Like, and we're back to playing Cycle Readers to counteract the Drytron Menace. Surprised? No, I'm really not. I'm just happy to see that budget Tri Brigade still exists, minus, you know, this part. All right, next up was second place. This was Andrew Dolich's Altergeist list. Now, we are taking advantage of playing the Dogmatica package here through the Ecclesia and the Fleur-de-Lis. You already know how good multiple levels of disruption can be, especially when you can beam out a Fleur through an Ecclesia here and just kind of laugh at your opponent. All right, there's nothing says more annoyance than you know, having a multi-faker still Guidos loaded up with a fleur-de-lis, negate, you know, and of course your 21 trap cards here that will make the game funner for everybody out there. And then, of course, you get decided in Secret Village of the Spellcasters because that's what your deck does. All right, like this right here is the secondary win con for Altergeist. So don't underestimate this stupid deck because this card exists. All right, oh my God. I actually hate losing the Secret Village so much. All right, remember when people were citing or playing Clara and Rushka to counter this? I remember. What else we got here? Oh boy, another Altergeist list. So this one is actually top 4. This was Stephen McCarty's list here. As you can see here, this build takes more advantage of your centralized hand traps that we all kind of know and love. This build is focusing on the punishment side of things with not bulking down on the Ecclesia, the Fleur-de-Lis, stuff like that. As you were also trading off our extra deck here to get the draw power through the extravagances. And we have our favorite floodgate ever. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about how fun Rivalry of the Warlords is in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! And as long as Tri-Brigade remains the best deck, High Sword Soul, I can't wait for you. You know, this card will continue to be that hindrance to slow down the meta and allow Altergeist to kind of edge in here and take advantage of that. I'm actually kind of surprised to see that we're also not playing 2 Axis Code Talkers in here, but they are very expensive, so it's going to be a trade-off. All right, next up here, now this is Aaron Hall's top 4 list here, and here we do see our first cross-out designator build here. This will take advantage and punish the opponent. The off-scare hand trap that we opted to play here was in fact the effect failure here. That way we can punish the opponent. Interesting enough, this build is also playing Pot of Prosperity. Prosperity kind of showed up near the, what was it, end of last format in Tri-Brigade builds. A lot of people are kind of looking at this going, whoa, 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 really? Like, we're doing this? Yes, this is actually kind of super interesting here. I do definitely like the cool tech options that you can do with this, but unfortunately, it doesn't really do much. I also like the spicy mind control down here. Imagine in a world where you mind control your opponent's monster, and you're able to like kind of take advantage of, you know, linking it out, all sorts of cool dumb stuff. This card is just an auto out to Zeus too. Like, take the Zeus on over to your field. Oh, it's not a threat anymore. Mission accomplished. But all right, so that's the cross-out designator list here. Now this has been coming up here. This is the Tri-Brigade Melffy deck. Now, I'm going to make a whole separate video talking about this a little bit more in depth, but there have been a lot of Melffy Brigade over the last weekend here. Way more than I think people want to know about. All right, I've already seen multiple tournament reports with this. Yeah, Kalanisto Puppy is kind of cute right now. So yes, you get to kind of take advantage of being schooled here, laugh at your opponent, and I mean, hey man, this is all just built-in beast support for you to do your job through the little rescue cat here. So nothing else too crazy about this. I just wanted to say here that you know, all things considered, this does not surprise me. Also, like, 100% sure this should probably be a Zoo monster, or the Zeus down here in the extra deck, but that's a story for another day. All right, next up here, we have Virtual World. This should have been Ross Berger's top 8 list. Now, here's the thing, all right? We all know that VW got a little bit better with E-Telly, all right? That's really about it. I see that this build is bulking down on triple frickin' talents. Alright, we're on double Nyan, which is fine. Double Ghost Bell here. I feel like the hand trap ratios haven't changed. This build is also going for Muddy Mud Kaliga. I'm so glad we've kind of strayed away from doing whatever we thought we were doing with like Dragoon and stuff in the earlier days with this, because like that was so weird. But you know, Kaliga Crystal Wing should be as good as it really gets with this, with Chuchi on the subload back burner. So yeah, it's still Virtual World. Yeah, it still does what it does, but even with Crossout Designator, you know, this deck doesn't need it. Good news for budget players, I guess. Next up here is another Tri-Brigade list. Okay, so we've really gone full circle here, all right? This build is not playing Crossout Designators, nor is this build playing Pot of Desires, all right? But this one is playing Prosperity instead of the Desires. Oh, man, variants, by the way. I also see here We don't need Psalm Strike. We've chose to play the Imperms here. Isn't it? These really cool tech options that you see between these builds here makes all that difference. And I think that's the reason why I love deck building so much, is because all that variance that you see in these particular builds is just truly what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Awesome and fun. Shout out to IO, by the way. Such a good card. Outside of that, what did you crow in the side deck? Interesting. And we have the Solemn Judgments to kind of round out the side deck package here as well. So, streamlined? Yeah, pretty much, honestly. Like, it doesn't get any different than this. Yay, Tri-Brigade. And the last list here is, oh my gosh, we have a Drytron deck. Oh, first one of this I've seen. We're packing in pre-preps and preps. All right. We've chosen to play the Little Herald to perfection. Of course, one Ava. Gosh darn it. I see 2 orange light. I have a feeling that 2 orange light's probably going to be the norm at this point here. And of course, we are packing in everybody's favorite Red Eyes Fusion package here. Yeah, we also are playing Dawn of the Herald, so this will get us another level of recurability and abusement here through the Ben 10. Wow, it's a double ritual. Outside of that, yeah, nothing too crazy about this list, actually. I feel like this is the new norm for this deck, if not very simple. I already know that a few people were trying to play the deck without Dragoon, but I feel like you're just kind of hindering yourself at that point. Like, you're taking away your overall consistency parts. So that, guys, wraps up our PPG breakdown for this video. Guys, what do you think? Please leave a comment about how much you guys think. Smash the love and crap out of that subscribe button. I'll have some more interesting rogue decks for you guys at 11. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Vanquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mquillgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.